John, thank you for joining us for this virtual fireside chat. It is a virtual fireplace. We don't actually have a fire today, unfortunately. But I'm Paul Galgen. I lead our Dell, the Azure Stack Hub efforts here at Dell EMC, and joined by John McVeigh here at Ignite 2019. John?
So I'm John McVeigh. I'm Director of Strategic Alliances at Teradici.
Awesome. So I asked John to be here with us today because we had some really interesting announcements over the last couple of months, some really cool enabling technologies around Azure Stack Hub. A couple of months ago, I suppose, we introduced Windows Server 2019 Redstone 5 as a foundation for Azure Stack, and one of the features that enables is virtual GPU. And then here at Ignite, we just announced that we're going to be having some private previews, and we're going to be really early in market, early in 2020, with GPU offerings with Azure Stack Hub. Right. So I think that sheds some new light on this partnership between Teradici and Dell EMC with Azure Stack. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So with Teradici, with AMD, with Dell, and our partnership also with Microsoft for Azure Stack. Great triangulation, bringing together the ability for virtual GPU or partitionable GPU capabilities for the first time in Azure. Great to start to give preview capabilities as we go forward with that with Azure Stack. Teradici is a leader in delivering remote workstation capabilities for high performance graphics. Gives us the ability to deliver a lot of that high-end workstation experience, but on a device of the customer's choice, on zero or thin clients that, in fact, are available through Dell that include Teradici.
So you're talking about doing CAD and CAD-like things
exactly
on thin clients.
So CAD-like things on thin clients. Azure Stack is the central data source, the central access point for all remote users. Imagine CAD designers in two regions. I'm in Europe and I'm in the United States, collaborating on the exact same design at the exact same time, but without those expensive workstations kicking off all that heat, consuming all that power. I'm able to just draw, design, collaborate, have all that centrally controlled in the Azure Stack architecture, secure in that architecture. So it enables a lot more collaboration, a lot more team enablement, and some unique capabilities also to bring in external collaboration that you might not have done before, to give unique identifiers to those folks to really just take advantage of new ways to work together, new ways to design together.
That is cool. Just the idea of two designers, industrial designers, working together on a CAD document, cross-region, without like a shared Word document. That's crazy to me. It's just so cool.
It is coming to that level of simplicity that things we used to do years back of jointly working together on a PowerPoint. Now imagine suddenly jointly working together on a 3D design.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's really great. So with this virtual GPU capability, that's really going to unlock that sort of a use case. And where do you see this going? What industries first? And
great question. So we're finding, especially with Azure Stack, so a number of customers that we talk to, they're looking for cloud. They want cloud, but there's certain reasons, either industry regulations, other general traditional reasons that say, I still want to stay on-prem, but I want to be Azure consistent. I want an Azure experience. That for those types of industries, those types of customers in manufacturing, as you noted, we're also finding in government, in public sector, healthcare services, certain industries, financial services is another where we're finding that certain workloads, certain categories, they still want to keep on-prem, but they may be putting other workloads into Azure. And so they want something that can work seamlessly across both of these platforms. They want, in all of those situations, from what we call the task to talent worker, to have that same remote capability, the same remote experience. Easier for IT to administer, very easy for me as an end user to just start using my tools rather than try to figure out, okay, I've got to fire up the laptop, now I've got to make sure the latest updates are installed, now I've got to get the workstation set up, the peripherals all set up,
Yeah.
you know, all those things. And I got to call IT when something breaks because I touched the wrong settings. All that centralized experience becomes just easier.
Yeah.
And my 4K monitor, my simple device connected to that, I'm ready to go.
I can imagine that, you know, today these design environments, they're highly centralized, right? Where
Right.
you've got tens of thousands worth of equipment per knowledge worker,
Right.
and they have to be co-located with it. And so something like this, you can go wherever the knowledge worker wants to go,
Right.
and still be productive and still collaborate the way as if they're sitting next to each other.
Exactly. And the other is you avoid some of the hub and spoke activities that start to occur in traditional data center or traditional architectures, the localized data center, if you will, the localized hub of servers that examples of customer use right now where they're expanding workloads based on demand for market opportunity. We see this in, good example, media and entertainment studios, where
Right.
growing demands for work, growing demands for opportunity, but they can only respond based on how much capacity do I have in the servers in my location. When you suddenly remove the servers, increase the number of artists in that location, and centralize all of that into an Azure Stack architecture, into an Azure Stack architecture, depending on what I need to do, suddenly now I've gained higher productivity, that I've gained more flexibility for my workers. I'm able to also take on more jobs and more opportunities faster. So we see this with architects, we see this with media and entertainment as examples,
Right.
where it enables business flexibility rather than IT demand as the, or IT capacity as the arbiter of when I can take on new business.
Right. That's awesome.